Hi everybody, this is Catherine from Gamereactor, and today we are at Nordic Game 2016 in Malmö. And here beside me I have Chris Charla, the head of ID at Xbox. And Chris, can you tell me, you have been celebrating ID at Xbox on Xbox Live with Game Fest this month. Can you tell me what is the significance of this, and how would you compare it to, say, Summer of Arcade in the past?
Well, so this month we've been doing a month-long celebration of all the different awesome indie games that are on Xbox One with ID at Xbox Game Fest. And I don't know how you'd compare it to Summer of Arcade other than a lot of great games from independent developers in both programs, and we've been really excited by having people be able to check them out.
So we are closing in on 3 years at ID at Xbox. How would you describe those years?
It's been just amazing. Going from when we first started the program, where we went out and talked and listened to more than 50 developers, and hearing that our ideas were bad, and then they were better, and then they were okay, and then we started, and just improving the program constantly has been really fun. But what's been really amazing is seeing the games that have come in, and seeing the games that came in from the very start to the games that are coming in now, and just seeing I think I said, like, way back in the beginning, 2013, somebody was like, what game are you most excited to see? And I was like, a game I can't possibly imagine right now. And when you see a game like Ark come onto ID at Xbox, and you're just like, okay, I'm running around an island, punching a tree, taming dinosaurs, like, that's the kind of awesome, something you couldn't have imagined in 2013. That's the kind of awesome, creativity we were hoping to see with the games from independent developers coming through ID at Xbox, and that's really what we've seen. So it's been great.
So it seems like ID at Xbox and self-publishing and indie games is of growing importance to platform holders. Would you agree with this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I really think that independent developers have like fundamentally changed the game industry. They've fundamentally changed the kind of games we see, the kind of games we play, and it used to be there was the game industry, and then there were sort of indies, and now it's like there's just video games, and it's really awesome to see.
So you talk a bit about the changes that we have seen. What do you think of the future for both ID at Xbox and self-publishing and indie games?
Well, I'll say the same thing. So from our perspective, what we want to work on is always just making it as easy as possible for developers to get their game onto Xbox, to get their game onto Windows 10 with Xbox Live, and just the easier we can make it for developers to get their games onto Microsoft platforms, the better things are going to be. So from our perspective, that's what we're looking to see. From the game perspective, it's the same answer I gave in 2013. Like, I can't wait to see a game that I can't even imagine in 2016, and I'm sure I'll see them.
So Microsoft is introducing cross-platform between the Xbox One and Windows 10. Is that something that applies to ID at Xbox, all the titles as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So any game that's on Xbox Live, on Xbox One, can do cross-play with Windows 10 using Xbox Live. And at GDC, we also announced that cross-platform play is a thing as well. So if a developer wants to connect their game to a game from some other network, they can do that as well. It's really up to them.
So with ID at Xbox, we see all types of games. We see the smaller games. We see something that reminds us of like a AAA production. Is that something that adds to the challenge?
That's a great question. I don't know if it adds to the challenge, but it's been really gratifying to see. We've got games that are created by one man or one woman, working in their bedroom, and that's awesome. And then we have games that are created by 200-person studios, and that's awesome too. And we're really, like, our whole goal with the program was never to define this is what an indie is and this is what an indie isn't. It's always been to just say, like, hey, if you've got a cool game, bring it. And I'm really happy that we've been able to scale the program to support studios of lots of different sizes.
So, of course, it's difficult to pick a favorite amongst all the ID at Xbox titles, but is there any game that you would like to highlight for any reason?
There's about 220 games I'd like to highlight. It's a really hard question to answer because it is really hard to pick a favorite. Like, obviously, I love Ark, I love Rocket League, I love 3-Force Home, which is like a really small personal game. There's just so many cool games. So I guess I'd encourage people to check out Xbox and see what's there.
So what's your thoughts on having a quality bar at ID at Xbox? Because of course everything doesn't get greenlit. So what are you looking at?
Oh, so when we think about, concept approval, it's really just making sure that games that are on Xbox One or, on Windows 10 with Live just hit that kind of, quality bar that console players expect. And so it's not some kind of thing where we, get in a room and scrutinize games really closely. We're not looking to be censors. We're not looking to pick the hits or anything like that. We just want to make sure that when somebody turns on their Xbox One and buys a game, that it's going to meet, certain quality parameters.
Okay, and lastly, I would like to ask, because this is something that we're really excited about, do you have a release date for Cuphead?
Internally in my brain, maybe. No, I think what they said last E3 was 2016, and they're sticking with it. So 2016.
We'll look forward to that, and thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot.